YouTube family, my name is Elysia English and today we are working on a one-day transformation of our entryway. We're waiting for some things to dry on our bathroom renovation, and so we thought rather than just sitting there watching things dry, we would tackle another space in our house that needs an update. We have removed 6 layers of wallpaper on this space a couple of years ago, and it has left some stains from old wallpaper on the wall. The flooring is terrible and weathered, and actually the hardwood throughout the rest of the house is really good except for this one area. So we're going to solve that problem today and do a floor reno, build some amazing cabinetry on the wall and some actual functional hooks in that space, paint the walls, give it a complete refresh in just one day. Stay tuned, we're going to reveal the whole project in this video. There's a couple problems with this area. The first one is the wrong paint was used for this space. When you're having an entryway and you're doing a renovation, you want to make sure that you use a washable paint. You don't want to use a matte paint that's not for a high traffic area. And so we need to switch that up today. Example of that is actually this door was probably just done in a matte interior paint. And so anything that touches this door actually leaves it super dusty and it almost sticks to it, which is not ideal. So we need to give this a sanding and change the door color. The other problem that I have is after Philip and I removed about 6 layers of vintage wallpaper, which was very tedious, it has left.
Literally.
Do you remember how terrible that was?
I think that was when I first was like, what day is it?
It
Off
was
camera.
so bad. That was, I think, 4 years ago that we did that. But what we were left with was sticky residue and discoloration on the walls in this space. And so that is not ideal for a fresh looking space. And so our trim and the bottom 1/3 of this whole room looks gooey and brown and stained. It's terrible. And I also think they didn't use the right paint for the walls on that underneath. So it's just all around a complete flop. So we need to fix that. We're also going to build some type of wood storage area on the sidewall here to create a little more function in this space. We overall just want this entryway to be a lot more fresh and welcoming and have an actual purpose. We're trying to utilize all of the spaces in our house. If you're looking at doing some beginner projects for your home for home renovations, your entryway is a great place to start because you can do minimal work with just really small, simple skills and make a huge impact on your home. So we're gonna do that in today's video. So the first thing I'm going to do is remove all of these screws and hooks that the previous owners have all over this space. They hung hooks from floor to ceiling. I'm not really sure what for, but there's plenty of these. And we're going to put some putty in and fill the holes once we wash the walls. So I'm gonna do a really good scrub, remove all the hardware, and then fill those holes and allow those to dry while we work on another side of the room because we're gonna do some woodworking on that side.
We're falling out, we've reached disaster.
Little goo gone, get the sticky off, wash with warm water, see if we can get this freshened up before we paint it.
Again and again and again and again.
So much easier to build and do my woodworking if I take this door off. And since I want to revamp the hinges and the doorknob and a few elements on this door anyways, it just makes sense to get it off and out of this tiny space to work on it. Then I'm not doing a lot of sanding inside the house. This is a super heavy old door, original to the house. I'm not sure how many colors it actually was, but when we sand it, we're gonna find out. But let's get it outside so we give ourselves some more room. Oh, it's a heavy one, yikes. Can I make it? Oh no, made it. I'll come back to you. I have this open space here, which is going to be the first application we're going to do in this room once I get my putty on. My vision is to create some type of a hook here, but I don't want to just create a typical coat hook where you use like metal hooks, spray them, drill them to the wall. I want to do a little bit of an accent wall kind of on here to kind of create a look of a little bit of a built-in with some hooks and kind of make it a little bit styled. And then I'm going to put some super fun things on the floor. Do you want to see the tiles?
Yes. I'm
dying to show you the tiles. If you follow my Instagram, you probably already got a sneak peek. I'll leave my Instagram handle down here so you don't miss sneak peeks next time. But I showed you guys just a little glimpse on what I was thinking I was going to do for this flooring. Based on your response and me staring at this for the past 24 hours, I've decided that these are going to go on the floor. So when I was at my local home hardware yesterday, McNaughton's had these amazing sticky floor tiles that they're actually called floor pops, which I think is exactly what I need for the space, is a pop of color on the floor. And because I don't want to go too crazy, I haven't exactly set my color palette for everything I'm going to do in the house yet. I thought these were gray with a little hint of my favorite yellow, just a slight bit of color on the floor and brighten up this space. Give it a bit of personality too. So I love how I'll be able to put 4 of these together. The pattern were interlocked together and they're sticky. So all I can do is give this floor just a really good clean and stick these to my floor. So much easier than trying to cut out this old hardwood. It's not molding or anything, just looks terrible. So what I wanna do is just cover this up. Perfect solution since the rest of the hardwood in the house looks brand new still. So I'm going to build my wood custom on the wall here and then we're gonna get these on the floor. I'm so excited to do these. If I do this, I'm gonna stab myself. Help! Philip to the rescue. Sometimes you need a muscle husband to open the lids for you.
I don't want to embarrass myself and
not be able to get it off. It's on there. There was no tab.
I got it.
Yay! I'll keep you.
Putty.
Pink putty dries white.
Oh, I see what you did here. Interesting.
Like I said, previous owners did a fantastic job of putting a million holes in the wall in this house from floor to ceiling. I'm not sure why they were hanging things 2 feet off the ground. So I just watch for the bright pink to turn a light, almost white color, and then I know it's dry. And sometimes I have to do a second coat, but this stuff doesn't shrink like a drywall putty usually does, where you have to kind of go back in and do a few coats. I'm gonna find all the holes, let that dry, and we're gonna start our woodworking. Nice new measuring tape. Woo! Bye-bye broken measuring tape. Okay, 67.
I got this weight on my shoulders, slowing me down. I don't know how it came about. And while the world is spinning faster every night, I feel I'm stuck in reverse somehow. But it ain't no.
That was all the cuts we needed. Super easy. How many cuts did I make? 7 cuts to do this whole woodworking on this one wall. So what I did was I used 1x2s, 1x4s, and a 1x6. And I just cut them to the length I needed for my wall. And I'm gonna show you how I assemble them. The air compressor's filling up.
What?
The air compressor's on. We're gonna use it to put some wood on the wall.
Okay.
Don't hang up. Can we be friends again? I give up. I know how this ends.
Need more hands.
Might sound strange, but I'd give my life for you. Nothing's changed. I just ran away from the truth. One of us makes a mistake. We work our way through the heartache, and then we're back where we started. We've gone full circle again, but that's what we do.
I have the lower portion of my woodworking done. It was super easy using the 1x2s and the 1x4 to do the top bracing. But now I want to add a little ledge that I can put some decor on, maybe throw our keys and wallet or something on. And so I'm going to use the wood glue and a 1x6 and do the same thing, adding a ledge on the top.
Turn, I guess. Let's pretend that we are making progress. One of us makes a mistake. We work our way through the heartache.
I need to prep the holes for my hooks before I actually paint the color that I'm going to do on this cabinet part. Now I've been debating whether or not to do my favorite green or do white, and I just can't make up my mind. So I'm still deciding as we're filming, which is very typical of me because I always have different color combinations in mind. But I keep looking at our gorgeous green door that we did on our front, and the tile is sitting next to the door, and I thought, oh my gosh, the green looks stunning. White's boring, but it's still so fresh, so struggling. The struggle is real, but I'm gonna get the drill holes done for these hooks so that I can actually get this all prepped and ready, because I wanna leave those pegs raw, so I don't want any paint to get on them, so I'll be putting those on at the end, but I do need to pre-drill those holes. So I'm gonna do all my measurements across. So I'm thinking, I don't want obviously the first one to be right against the wall, so I'm gonna go 4 inches in, and then do one, I think, every 8 inches. And I'm measuring down 1 3/4 inches. That way they'll all be at the same height.
Like we always do.
Small details like making sure your measurements are super accurate are going to make your end result so much nicer and look super professional. So taking the extra time to do this prep, measure everything out right to the last dot. You just really need to make sure everything's super accurate. So when you stand back and you look, everything's level, everything's even. It's gonna look like you hired someone to do it. It's gonna make your rental look that much better in the end.
Wish I could say I was finally over you, but that's not the truth. Everyone always keep falling in love again. What's wrong with them?
It fits?
Yeah, perfect. Like it's snug. Like it's.
That's amazing. Okay, so we're not putting them in yet. Don't force it in until we actually paint the cabinet first, because I want to leave those raw, I think.
This is looking absolutely stunning. It doesn't even look like our front entry right now, and it's just
1/3 of the way done.
Yeah, it's just 1/3 of the way done, and it's absolutely gorgeous.
I think I should have done the caulking before I painted my first coat, but I forgot, so I'm just going back using the paintable caulking to fill in all these spots. I'm making a bit of a mess, but
It actually, what you're doing looks pretty good.
I think
It'll clean up real nice.
yeah. I'm still waiting for putty to dry and paint to dry, so I'm focusing on some of the small details that will make a big impact in my tiny entry reno. So doing things like my hinges on my door and little details like adding the screws on my hardware to match what the hardware is going to be will really make that final look really cohesive. And so I'm going to use some metallic gold and spray some of these small fixtures and really update what those look like. Oh, look at this vintage emblem that goes on the door.
Oh, that's
So
neat.
cute. Not purchasing new hardware and just using the original vintage that came with our house will not only save money, but will give a little bit of that vintage vibe and mixing the old with the new, which kind of really gives it a really custom, unique look in the end. So I'm excited to be able to use this original stuff that came on the door and on the cabinet and then just make it look new. We've been working through the day, waiting for paint and putty to dry, and then I did the caulking, and that was taking even longer. The quick dry just was not drying today with the weather, and so we are actually working now through the night to get this renovation done. We want to be able to do this in 24 hours, and so we're staying up to get this done, and we're just about to put the pop of color on our floor. I still have lots of painting to do, but if I wait until this is completely dry, we're gonna be into tomorrow morning, and I'm not gonna get this done in the timeline that I've set for us. So we're gonna start installing this on the floor, and then I can finish the painting once we get this done. Pretty excited to see what these are going to look like. We're gonna get started.
Midnight DIY with Elysia English.
Tick, 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 tick. Time's ticking.
When the world sleeps, but Elysia never sleeps.
Never stops.
Never, but Elysia never stops.
Peel the sticky backing off. Just comes off like the back of a sticker. It's super sticky. I have glue all over my hands already. And I'm going to lay my first piece. She's stuck.
Perfect pattern lineup.
This is when being a perfectionist is a good thing.
Yeah, and I know you all too much that I know you enjoy this way too much. Lining up the lines perfectly.
Wow.
Satisfaction. Oh, good job, hon. That looks... I don't know if I want to show the floor right now until it's like finished.
Okay, don't show the whole floor right now, but... Welcome to my new entryway.
Wish that I could stay. Wish for this moment to never go away. but it's all in my mind. And though I know that there is nothing to find, you're a beautiful sight in the summer night. And you can't put up a fight in the misty light. While you roam in the streets all alone, and all you can see, thinking about what your life came to be. You're a beautiful sight in the summer night, and you can't put up a fight in the misty light. Another day, like the mothers of Brazil find their way. We're all on our own, but you're the most beautiful I've ever known. You're a beautiful sight.
Woke up this morning to get the final clips for this video and couldn't believe that this was really truly my entryway. The transformation from just 24 hours ago to now is an absolute showstopper. I can't believe that for under $50 we were able to transform this entire space. I love that I was able to create a lot more floor space by not adding a bench or anything and building this really functional wall feature behind me, which will allow us to have our coats hanging, purses hanging, throw our wallet and keys, not having any furniture there that would take up any floor space. I did add a little ottoman in the corner in case we have any guests that need to come and sit down and take their shoes off. All of us don't typically do that, so I just thought it would be a nice feature to have in the corner. Adding the actual flooring all the way through gave us a really nice washable surface and covered that awful weathered flooring that we had. This tile is outstanding. If you're looking to get it, I'll put the contact information for homehardware.ca down below, but that's where we got it from our favorite McNons. So thanks so much, McNons. This floor changed this whole space. We were able to carry it through the entire closet, which now gives us a really seamless look, finishes it off, and we just used a little piece of wood transition strip to transition us from this flooring we put in to the flooring that we have, the hardwood in our living room space, so it looks completely finished. I also ran just a bit of caulking around the perimeter of the room to really seal and finish off all of those nice edges. I added some gold details to this space by changing the hardware on our door and the handle on the closet. I think just adding a little pop of our favorite new accent is really going to help us flow this look through the rest of the house. We now have a gigantic closet. Phil removed all of his empty boxes he was storing in the closet. And so now we can hang our coats and shoes in this space, and it's going to give us a much more welcoming entry. Overall, I call this a complete win for under $50. Thank you so much for watching our transformation. We are loving working our way through our own home and doing these DIYs on a budget. I definitely don't want to show you guys transformations that cost a lot of money because it just defeats the purpose of upcycling, thrifting, and doing things on a budget. I want to be able to show you guys projects that a lot of families would be able to afford to do rather than showing you transformations that cost thousands of dollars. This entire room was under $50. Can I say that again? Under $50. Let me know in the comment section what your favorite element of this new space is. I'm kind of think mine might be the gold star on the door, although the floor is just absolutely gorgeous. So I think that definitely helped with the transformation, but I'm loving that gold star on the door. Thank you guys so much. I love you. Thanks for being part of our YouTube family. If you're not subscribed, hit the subscribe button. What are you waiting for? See you on the next episode.